Alright, we'll get started here shortly. I think the intention is to finish the first case tonight. I've kind of already forgotten where we were. I know we had a lot of fun talking, yeah, had a fun dealing with Shelly the Killer. That's always amusing. So yeah, and I know we like discovered that one of the guys had like actually died. Not the ambassador whose suit works out, but I think one of the bodyguards or something, security guys. Somebody died. So I think that's where we're at. And they arrested the journalist. Whoops. With the death of Bastian Rook and the revelation that Shelly the Killer was in our midst, the case had taken a turn we could have never predicted. Mr. Knight ordered that the door to the presidential plane be opened, and the emergency personnel attending to Mr. Rook's body were asked to leave. With the scene cleared, we stepped cautiously aboard. Shelly the Killer still has him at knife point. Zhangfa presidential plane. No president in sight. Now, where could he be? Who knows? Ah, so he's hiding behind the bulkhead door over there, is he? As courageous in the face of danger as ever. Sorry to disappoint, but did you seriously expect him to be standing here waiting to meet his assassin? As we have already established, my interest lies only in the successful conclusion of this investigation. Now, Mr. Edgeworth, if you would be so kind as to examine the body. Alright. My only option right now is to play along. The rest is up to you, Detective Gumshoe. So the attempted assassination of the president has become the murder of a bodyguard. Hehehe, you look like you could use a little help there, Mr. Edgeworth. Not that I need it, but yes. That's what I thought. Then there's nothing else for it. Kay Faraday, great thief extraordinaire. We'll just have to take it from here. Oh really? You mean you're going to solve the case for me? You were playing some Megaton Punch and you showed up? Nice. Well, I showed up. Nice. What? Like, that's Kirby Superstar, isn't it? Nope. I thought not. But I will provide vital assistance. Now, let's get to scouring this crime scene from top to bottom. Hell yeah. Megaton Punch is awesome. Samurai Kirby, all of them, all of the Kirby Superstar games are amazing. That is my contribution to that conversation. But hello, Zeal, how are you? It will take Detective Gumshoe a while to assemble our backup, so I'll need to draw this part of the investigation out for as long as possible. Investigation. Body. I won't rest until I inspect every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. It's the victim, Mr. Bastian Rook, a bodyguard to the president of Zhangfa. I can't read shit. You're doing some random stuff, learning Linux reasons, decided to check, needed a nice SNES. Nice. Bodyguard to the president of Zhangfa. He's one of the guys that brought the president inside as soon as the shooting started. Which means he continued to do his duty right up until his dying breath. At least he'll get posthumously promoted? Okay, it's better to know when to say nothing at all than to end up with your foot in your mouth. What do you mean? I mean, bodyguards don't even operate on the same rank promotion system as the police in the first place. It's a bulletproof attach case. Bodyguards use them to shield their clients from gunfire. There were some in Kay's photograph too. Looks like Rook and Knight each had one. Oh hey, that's the photo I snatched. You can hardly steal a photo at a public event, Kay. But I'm snatching up a moment in time with every picture I take, you know? I take it snatch is your new favorite word? Heh, maybe. So the victim was also carrying a revolver. Looks like he was trying to use it. He probably drew it on instinct when he felt threatened. We should check to see if he managed to fire any rounds off. All there, and no other signs of the weapon having been used. Was this one on loan from Zhang Fa too? Yep, sure was. We're always issued with the same model gun. The bullet seems to have entered just under his armpit and went clean through his body. He was hit in an area his bulletproof vest didn't cover. Like it was on purpose or something, huh? The cause of death would appear to be loss of blood. Attempts were made to snatch it, or to stanch it, what? Damn it, you're making me do fake words. Hello, Jaws, but to no avail. Crime scene notes jotted down in my organizer. The medics must have been brought in to try to save him. Sadly, it was too little too late. Have I inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny on this guy? It would appear so. It's a solid circular life preserver, designed to be used in case of emergency on the water. Or rather, the sea, to be more precise. Oh, the sea! I love the sea! We should go sometime! Sorry, but you'll have to make that particular trip without me. Aw, don't be like that. Come on, it'll be fun. We can have lobster rolls, ice cream, all that good stuff. Something tells me the sea isn't the main attraction for you, is it? Two gas masks in case of a poison gas attack, I suppose. The president certainly seems to think he's at risk of assassination at all times. Wow, gas masks. I've never seen one before. I've heard plenty about them, of course. Oh? From a fellow thief, I presume? No, from the Gem and Ninja, you know, my favorite kids' TV show. Princess Murasaki was getting married, but Toxic Ninja Wolfsbane showed up to lay down some sick burns. I'm learning more about this show every day. And time to tune out. Might save myself a brain cell or two. Someone has left an inflatable boat and an oar here. Probably so it's ready to go at any time. Wait, but there's only one oar. You can still row with one oar, you know. I can't leave. The president is on the other side of this door. And what a door it is. Bet I could get the better of it, though. Get the better of it. Doors aren't there to be beaten. But look how heavy it is. Look at that lock, just sitting there, begging me to try it. Calm down, Kay, and think, why might this door be locked? For me to open it, of course. Precisely, for you to open it, of course. Wait, what is the right answer anyways? It's a bank of monitors displaying camera feeds from in and around the plane. I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. There you go, Lynn. I have learned to read. These monitors are displaying the cockpit and parts of the plane's exterior, but I don't see anything out of the ordinary. But this one doesn't work. That's the outside of the plane. Most intruders cannot hope to approach without being spotted, but such measures would be mere child's play in my case. Okay, dude. Whoa, you're saying you can get past cameras like these without being seen? Of course, with ease. You have to teach me how, please. Are you taking on apprentices by any chance? Kay, you do realize who you're talking to, don't you? Sorry. Had to ask, though. What a great skill for a great thief to know. Unfortunately for you, I am not the type to take on understudies. You're not, huh? Shame. Shame? In what way, exactly? We're casually dealing with, you know, an assassin would be in training in Kay Faraday, apparently. This monitor is displaying a feed of this very room. They didn't go cheap when they bought these, huh? Very high res. Oh, I'm afraid I can't quite tell myself, but I can even see the little crow's feet around your eyes. Oh, my bad. They're just the usual deeply etched lines, you know, on your forehead. If you've quite finished. It's good to have goals. Hey, you know, we support would-be assassins. No, we don't. What on earth is this? Oh, it's the president's favorite plushie. It's a memento of something. Anyway, don't touch. But if that's the case, then why has it been left up there like nobody cares about it? Yeah, that's pretty weird. Certainly wouldn't be the first place I would think to display a beloved item. Wait, are those shards of glass underneath it? I thought something seemed strange about this cubby hole, but now I'm sure of it. There's almost certainly another monitor here. Have we scoured this? I don't remember what the damn thing says. It's not as catchy as inspecting every suspicious looking nook and cranny. I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. There's a lot here. Documents of some kind. We could always steal a glance. Another security plan. Oh yeah, like the one from the trash can. Precisely. Wait, something feels off. Aw, shit. Uh-huh, yeah. Haven't played this in, like, 2 weeks. Alright. President saved. I mean, there's a lot different, but you know. Yep, I'm gonna be real good. Okay, so they've switched positions. I mean, you know, aside from the fact that a lot of this is different, I'll probably focus on the switching positions. Eureka! The two plans are different. Was the security detail reorganized at some point? Huh? Oh, you're right. Yeah, we made some last-minute changes yesterday. Our president's orders. Why the urgency? Because of what happened the day before. The killer here tried to take him down. He infiltrated the security detail, posed as one of us. Rook figured it out first, but not before the guy got within striking distance of the president. If our leader hadn't stepped in just then, we'd all have been out of a job. But he made it, and our friend here wound up with a seriously twisted arm. Rook put a bullet in it for good measure, too. And where were you while this was happening? You were the first one I overpowered, were you not? The killer has, like, some amount of superhuman strength for inevitably what is an old person. Like, Dick Hiller is surely, like, in his early 50s at this point, I would imagine. Oh, that's embarrassing. Shut up, kid. Ah, now I get it. Your neck has barely begun to... I'm disappointed. I don't remember that conversation at all. It busted up my neck so bad I can't even look to my right. I was somewhat astonished to have sustained an injury at all. A testament to Mr. Rook's skill. He was truly a master of his craft. Unlike a certain other someone I could mention. I'm just as good as he ever was. You are a pawn to his queen, my young friend. The heck do you know? So that's why you remembered Mr. Rook's name. You admired his skills as a bodyguard. Indeed. While I was serving on the team, I learned the names of all the operatives. But his, in particular, stayed with me. It joined the very short list of those who have ever successfully wounded me. So that's the connection he was talking about. And that's why we changed up the security plan. Had to be sure there weren't any more assassins in the ranks. The president didn't want anybody on stage he didn't trust, and he only trusts 2 people. Me and Rook. How does that explain your change of position? Oh yeah, he switched over to the right-hand side. I told you, I can't turn my neck to the right. Could only cover the president's left side. So I wound up moving to the right side of the stage. A curious figure of a curious animal with a curious expression is staring straight at me. And look, there's a big lever right by its butt. Don't even think about it. Why is this coming from Dick Hiller? Oh, I wasn't thinking anything, I swear. I imagine that lever opens the panels beneath my feet. I see. So he's standing on a trap door. I strongly advise you not to pull it. Do so, and you will regret it. You know, I'm okay with taking some advice, especially when it's from a professional killer. Hello, Sass. Of course, yeah. I mean, don't all planes have a trapdoor? Like, you're just you're just in the air, 30,000 feet in the air, negotiating with somebody, and then you're like, I don't like you, and you pull the lever, and boom, trapdoor opens, and they just fall to their death. Seems foolproof. These personal safety alarms are very colorful. Looks like they get a lot of use as well. I like the president. He seems like a thoughtful guy. Buying these for his kids, maybe his wife too. Why would they all be here if that was the case? No, these are for his own personal use. Gotta have a backup plan? Darn right we do. Objection, Your Honor. It is simply not possible for one person to use this many personal alarms. Why, you ask? Because he is human, and therefore possesses only 2 hands. 20 hands wouldn't be enough to count the number of objections I have to that objection. Alright, let's do the obvious one here. That looks heavy. Thank you. So this is what a president wears, huh? Must be made of something super special. Yes, to protect him from bullets. What? So it's not just for show? Of course not. Alright everyone, what does BDGD stand for? I'm curious. Someone come up with a good BDGD acronym. Of course not. This is a bulletproof vest. Oh, so that's what one of those looks like. Nothing that can be said on stream, rip. Why don't you just say so? Now I feel silly. Ah, no, didn't actually mean to push the button. Shush. Alright. Have we scoured this area for all of the evidence? It would appear so. A riot shield, and next to it, a canary in a cage. Aw, she's so sweet. I want one. Did you ever see a cuter partner in crime? Partner in crime? Well, yeah, she can help me with lockpicking, stuff like that. A great thief has no greater ally than nature, Mr. Edgeworth. Sadly, such birds are most commonly used for detecting poisonous gases. Wait, this one isn't actually for that, is it? Why are we... We're very clearly, like, poisoning... Hello? Well, this is sad music. Where did this music come from all of a sudden? I didn't do it. I'm a reporter. I bag scoops, not souls. But then why lie about your jacket and laser sight? That was... you knew y'all would think it was fishy. Is that really all it was? Please, you gotta believe me. I could never do something like this. I'd like to tell you everything will be alright, but just try not to worry too much. If you really are innocent, I'll prove it, one way or another. Thanks, Chief. I believe in you. How many times must I tell you? I am not your chief. Oh, sorry, Ruffles. Clean forgot you were chief number 2. That's not what I meant. Goodbye. What's up, guys? I have high hopes for your investigation. I do hope you won't betray my trust in you. Things are progressing well, I hope? There's no need to worry. Things are progressing just fine. Remember, I absolutely despise betrayals of all kinds. Yes, I know. Indeed you do. So please, do take care not to double-cross me, accidentally or otherwise. Really have no choice but to do as he says for now. Can't believe I let an assassin onto the president's plane. You know very well it was for the good of the investigation, Mr. Knight. Don't give me that. I know what you really want. You do indeed. Because you heard me say it already. I wish to know the truth behind Mr. Rook's death. But you did also say that you were asked to assassinate the president by a certain someone. You seem to have forgotten that there are more pressing matters at hand. Ack. I don't often carry out unpaid work, but it's not entirely unheard of. Fine. I'll get back to the investigation. Good. I'm expecting great things from you, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay. Logic. Quality voice acting? Thank you. I'm not, like, trying to strain my voice like I did in the last game. That just kind of got a little annoying. But thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Aha! I'm good. two guns are exactly the same, meaning it's likely that the one we found is also from Zheng Fa. Revolver data updated. The bodyguards all got their guns from the Zheng Fa authorities, right? Yes. Are they like super rare or anything? No, I don't believe so. This model isn't exactly easy to come by in this country, but it's certainly not impossible either. Feels like you're listening to an audiobook. Aw, thank you. It's funny, like, I know it's a thing that people in general don't like hearing their own voice, and I am very much the same way. But I know people tell me that I tend to have a good voice, so it is noted, and it is. But you know, anytime anyone says that, like, it's super appreciated, and you know, I do try. So yeah, thank you. Boo! And here I thought they might be valuable treasures. Okay, please. Yes, it is something of a shame. Whoa, I just mentioned treasures, and you actually responded for once. I only mean to point out that if the guns were rarer, it would be much easier to trace them. Which would have made them treasures of the evidence variety, I suppose. Ha! See? Everything's a treasure hunt one way or another, including this investigation. You could say that. Alright then, it's treasure hunting time. On with the investigation. She certainly seems a lot more enthusiastic all of a sudden. Let's see. Let's try this. Rejected. There's no logical connection between those two things. This will probably get rejected too. Oh, that one worked. Okay, game. 2 bullets were fired in total. We know this because 2 shots were heard. One traveled through the flag and into the balloon. The other took Mr. Rook's life. But there's a bullet in the president's vest too, right? How is that possible? How indeed. The numbers don't add up. However, there is one possible explanation. There is. After passing through his body, the bullet that took Mr. Rook's life then found itself lodged in the vest. In other words, 2 of our bullets were in fact 1. No way. He's right. If the president hadn't been wearing that vest, things could have been a lot worse. And he wasn't injured at all by the impact. Even when obstructed by a vest, a bullet can inflict serious damage. Sure, I've known guys who've got broken bones that way. But the president's okay. He's made of strong stuff. Dude, literally, like, his suit works out. Like, his suit has an 8-pack. Sounds like he didn't even need a vest. Let's not get carried away here. I want that bullet's ballistic markings analyzed. Remind me what those are again? Guns leave a unique pattern of grooves on every bullet they fire. By examining these grooves, we can use them to identify which gun it came from. Think of them as fingerprints of a sort. You can tell all that from a bullet? What are we waiting for? Analyze away. Might be easier said than done. That bullet hit solid armor. The impact will have completely flattened it. You'll be lucky if there's anything left for forensics to find. What? But I was all set for some analyzing. Okay, you are not Emma. That's quite enough investigating for now. What is taking so long, Detective Gumshoe? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, have you solved the case? No, not yet. Is that so? Then perhaps interviewing another key witness might help you to do so. Another witness? Who? You don't mean... the most important witness of all, the man on the other side of that door. He really intends to have me question the president. Now, if you would be so kind as to summon him, Mr. Edgeworth. Stop right there, Dekiller. You're nuts if you think I'd let him anywhere near you. Well, Mr. President, I am sure you are watching us through your security feed, aren't you? In which case, I politely request that you show yourself. That is, if you value your bodyguard's life. Urgh. Well then, if nothing else, we now know what kind of a man you really are. Mr. President! Stop! You can't do this. Let's all just calm down, alright? Oh, you panicking. Come on, detective. Where in the blazes are you? Eek. The lights! What's happening? Listen well, Mr. Edgeworth. I would advise you to stay very still. It seems I will not be granted my audience with the President after all. Even with Mr. Knight's life as my bargaining chip. No, stop! Ah! Eek! Oh, who died? Kay! You won't get away with this, Dekiller! I have seen enough, and now I know the truth. Where are you? Where did you go? Arg! I leave the rest in your capable hands, Mr. Edgeworth. Why are we letting Dekiller get away? Worth. Mr. Edgeworth. Detective Gumshoe? Sir, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Seems like everybody's fine. I must have been knocked unconscious. Sir, you're okay. Are you alright, Mr. Edgeworth? Never mind me. He didn't hurt you, did he, Kay? Nah, I'm fine. Only just woke up myself. My head will be sore for a while, but that's about it, so you can stop worrying. You know, concussion. No big deal. Detective, did you manage to stop the killer? Of course you did. Well, see, Miss Lloyd came running out of the plane, and, she told us he'd flown the coop. We were too late. I'm sorry, sir. Bodyguard over there told us something, too. Seems there's an inflatable boat missing from by the window. The killer must have stolen it and rowed himself across the lake. What about the what? What about the cordon? Cordon? I don't know. What about that around the park? I had called everybody back in to stake out the plane, including the guys stationed across the water. Oh, so he's completely slipped through our fingers. Not the best look for the department, but yeah. Hey, Edgeworth. Mr. Knight, you're alive. Yeah, no thanks to that murderer. Oh, that reminds me. I found this lying on the ground next to you, Mr. Edgeworth. A calling card marked with the seashell. Oh, baby. I guess he wanted to leave a message. The killer usually leaves these next to the bodies of his victims. But you're not dead, sir. But I could have been. Maybe that's the message. I can't stop thinking about his parting words, which is good because I have already forgotten them. Oh, okay. Yep. We just saw this. It's okay. I got it. And now I know the truth. The truth about what? Roger that. All clear out here, sir. Over. What's going on? That was the president. He's coming out. Now? Dude's suit works out. So he's the president of Zhangfa, Mr. Dijun Wang? Okay. I'm just gonna call him Mr. President. And you are? It's an honor to meet you, Mr. President. My name is Miles Edgeworth. The honor is all mine, Mr. Edgeworth. I am the President. Your efforts on behalf of Zhengfa have not gone unnoticed. You averted something of a crisis. You must be referring to the Yatagarasu case. Thank you, sir. But all I did was solve a few local cases of murder. You are too humble. I have been observing your investigation. You are an impressive operator, Mr. Edgeworth, even if the killer did get away. It's very kind of you to say. So he was watching through his security feed. Sadly, I must inform you that this is as far as your investigation goes. What do you mean? Hear me, foolish prosecutor, for I shall say this only once. I thought he was flipping me off for a moment. Knight has appraised me of the state of affairs. And from this point forward, the case will be handled by Zhengfa's police force, the finest in the world. Even with the killer out of the picture, they're still looking to get me thrown off the case? What do you think you're doing, pal? Nobody talks to Mr. Edgeworth like that. Gumshoe, the guy's the president. Let him do what he wants. Not positive, but I think that man might be a Klingon. I mean, he certainly could be a lot of things. If it hadn't been for him, the killer would have... Detective. Forgive him, Mr. President, but I must confess to being somewhat confused. I fail to see how or why this case falls within Zhengfa's jurisdiction. You fail to see. Enough, puny prosecutor. You seek explanations from a head of state? I say no. 1,000 times no. I will not explain myself to you. Now hand over the evidence you have gathered, and remove yourselves from this plane. I'd do as he says if I were you, Edgeworth. Ugh. This can't really be the end of the line, can it? Why, yes. Yes, it can. The guy is a president. Case evidence handed to Mr. Knight. Why? Why let us come so far, only to pull the case out from under us? What evidence do I have? I have my badge! You have a blockhead. Now, you may leave. Knight, detain the suspect. Yes, sir. Right away. Oh, God. To make an attempt on my life? To murder one of my faithful servants? The effrontery. The villainy. I didn't murder nobody. Because I... Shut your mouth, Miss Journalist. Answer me this. In a world already lousy with lies, with deception, with sin and iniquity, can we stand by and suffer yet another crime to go unpunished? I say no. 1,000 times no. There can be no forgiveness. There can be no surrender. Why, you ask me? Then I will tell you. He's hiding something. I'm certain of it. That dude is blabbering right now. That's what he's saying. If I leave now, we'll never know the truth. Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Mr. Edgeworth, there's got to be something we can do. Ah! Bodyguards. Think, Miles. Remember. How many times have you faced situations like this in the courtroom? To be fair, Edgeworth, you have never faced someone whose suit works out and shows off the suit's muscles. You've confronted the lies of witnesses and countered the arguments of other lawyers. That's exactly right, Dan. This is literally what he was doing. Has the critical evidence always been laid at your feet? No. And yet you've always got to the truth of the situation in the end. I mean, you know, Mr. Wright usually did that. With your greatest weapon of all, your words. Oh crap, I don't remember this. Now, let us analyze the state of play. Oh no. Be gone, puny prosecutor, or do you dare defy the direct order of our president? He's not going to listen. He clearly means to drown out any objection by means of pure rhetorical force. When an opponent is on the offensive, the best thing I can do is bide my time and wait for an opening. As he said himself, he's a head of state, a seasoned politician. He won't open himself up to attack so easily. Why am I saying this out loud? I can't let him bully me into submission. I have to stay calm and alert. If I can read his movements and expressions correctly, I may be able to find my moment. Hello, I am telling this person what I intend to do out loud, as opposed to speaking this in my thoughts and mind. My first aim should be to find out why he is insisting on Zhang Fa taking over the case. The board is set. Time to make my opening gambit. Mind chess commence. That one. Please, about the kid. Did I give you permission to speak? No. 1,000 times no. I am the leader of Zhang Fa. I have no time for your insolent backchat. I was simply hoping to confirm one basic fact. You say that the investigation will now be assigned to your national police force. I do. Now enough of your pointless questions. I think we still don't think we're quite... Good boy. The interior of this plane is the sovereign territory of Zhang Fa. You have no rights here. Is that so? Could it be that our current location itself is significant somehow? I should keep that in mind. It could be a useful clue. Explain to me why I'm off the case. Could you at least explain to me why I am off the case? Imbecile! Cease your insolent jabbering! I need not explain myself to you. My reasons are my own, and they are none of your concern. Perhaps it's time to employ my clue. This one. In the course of our conversation, I've deduced certain facts from your behavior, Mr. President. For example, you seem particularly aggressive when discussing our current location. You smarmy smart aleck. As you said yourself, the presidential plane is the sovereign territory of Zhang Fa. And from that, we can infer that you believe the rules of extraterritoriality apply inside here. Is that correct? Enough! Cease your objectionable whining. I think we press the advantage still. You can rant and roar all you like, but you won't escape my scrutiny. It was unmistakable. The moment I mentioned extraterritoriality, you became visibly agitated. Alright, Sass, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you hanging out for a little bit, chatting it up. Have fun with your game. Ah, we destroyed a chess piece. Dun dun. You think you're clever, don't you? Let me answer your little question. It's true. Extraterritoriality applies. Your laws mean nothing here. And why does that matter, you ask? It matters because it means you are powerless. You have neither influence nor authority here. Interesting. So the extraterritoriality issue does have something to do with all of this. Heh. Let's dig a little deeper into the claim that the plane is sovereign territory, shall we? Oh, I have gained time back. This next move will surely decide the victor. He may be the president, but nobody is untouchable. I just have to find the right angle of attack. That one. Surely you see that you have overplayed your hand. Nobody asked for your opinion. You need only obey me, nothing else. You dare tell me how to govern, how to lead? You dare contradict me? On the matter of Miss Lloyd's guilt? Yes, I do. No, she is guilty. She is the culprit. There is nothing left to debate. It's not quite there yet. Who else could have fired from outside the plane? There is no other viable suspect. Fascinating. So he's claiming that it's Miss Lloyd fired at him from outside the plane. This could be a vital clue. We're back to this, so... You believe that extraterritoriality applies here, but can you prove it? I definitely see where we're going with this. Do you even understand what you were asking? Of course. If I didn't, I wouldn't ask it. Have you no shame, calling into question the good word of one such as myself? Nope. We're gonna bide our time there. I have no more time for this. You clearly cannot be saved from your own foolishness. You needn't worry about me. I'm not the one who needs saving. That would be Miss Lloyd, the woman who is being wrongfully accused of this crime. Your chivalry is admirable, but it changes nothing. The right to extraterritoriality cannot be denied. This is Zhang Fa! Hey, time to deploy my clue. She fired you from outside the plane. Yep. Okay. Hey, I feel like I'm assuming this is right. The music stops is usually a good sign. I may not be able to call the extraterritoriality of the presidential plane into doubt. However, according to you, she shot at you from outside the aircraft, correct? In which case, extraterritoriality could not possibly apply in this case. Your assertion is entirely without merit, and the detainment of Miss Lloyd cannot be justified. How could I have bested by a mere prosecutor? But I am the president! The president! Checkmate. Nailed it. I trust you won't mind if we continue our investigation now, Mr. President. Grr. I hereby officially and unreservedly confer my approval. Consider it a gesture of the magnanimity and generosity for which my good office is known. Yes, for without noble acts such as these, unmistakably and irrefutably, for which reason we hereby... There can be no other outcome, for our goals are lofty, and our hearts... People of Zhang Fa, I swear to you here and now, this investigation will continue. All that when you could have just said, okay, you got me. Mr. Knight, if you would care to return the evidence. Take it. Case evidence retrieved from Mr. Knight. We did it, Mr. Edgeworth. We sure did, and now the investigation can continue. Whatever. Enjoy your pocket full of pawns. I'll be over here enjoying how you put them into play. You look psychotic right now, my dude. Then you will definitely enjoy my next move. Mr. President, one more favor, if you would be so kind. What is it? Could you please give us your testimony concerning the incident itself? Now you want me to testify. Whoa. That's your next move? If you want the president to testify, you'll have to take him to court. All in good time, Mr. Knight. He will get his day in court soon enough. But if a person of interest refuses to cooperate at the investigative stage of the process, they are obliged to provide detailed justification as to their reasons for doing so. That's... What's the matter? Is there something you'd rather we didn't know? Stand down, Knight. I'll do as the prosecutor asks. Thank you for your cooperation. Now listen, and listen well. Oh. Where was I when the incident occurred? The stage, of course. Suddenly, Rook and Knight jumped in front of me. Then, bang, a shot rang out, and and a plain, unblemished balloon of red exploded nearby. Not hesitating for an instant, my bodyguards tried to escort me back to the safety of the plane. And then the second shot. The bullet went right through Rook, and lodged itself in the bulletproof vest I was wearing. I guess if you look at it in one way, the President is also a victim here. Yes, the victim of an attempted assassination. Rook was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. But that makes it even weirder. Why would the target of a crime try to obstruct the investigation? My guess is there's something behind all this that he doesn't want made public. A cover-up, huh? I knew there was more to this case than meets the eye. And the President isn't the only one who knows the truth. Isn't that right, Mr. Knight? Time to get to the bottom of this once and for all.
Hold it!
And how would you describe the incident exactly? Oh, you naive little man. Do you really think your silly, simple question will shake me? I was involved in an attempt to silence me with cold steel. And while I was speaking to my adoring public, no less.
Hold it!
When they stepped in to protect you, were you aware of the fact that you were being targeted? Was I aware of the... No, I was aware of my audience, nothing else. When I step up to the podium, I enter another world entirely, a place of rapture, a place beyond words. Yeah, I think that's called stage fright. I bet you were like a deer in the headlights. No, 1,000 times no. I remember every second. Each moment is indelibly etched into my memory. When Rook and Knight stepped in, I was shocked, overwhelmed, taken aback.
Hold it!
About that red balloon. Are you trying to test me, Mr. Prosecutor? No, Mr. President. I simply wish to confirm what you remember. Very well. There were two very large, very round balloons, one on either side of the stage. Their deep crimson hue stood stark against the sky, just as the security plan said they would. The same security plan we found in the trash can, I assume. Rook and Knight leapt to my aid just before the balloon exploded.
Hold it!
You said they tried to escort you back into the plane? Yes, that's exactly what I said. They threw open their cases. That must be the moment Kay captured on camera. And immediately moved to help me back onto the aircraft.
Hold it!
Do you know where that second bullet went? Is this how you treat a foreign dignitary, or do you really think such needling questions necessary? Whoa, what's he so upset about? Must you insist on going over the same details again and again? Even my patience has its limits. You know full well where it went.
Hold it!
If I may ask, what was the victim like in that moment? He was a man amongst men, a real hero. The mere impact of the bullet took my breath away, and yet he had the strength to grab me and rush me back inside the presidential plane. So you and the victim entered the plane together, is that correct? Yes, he offered his noble protection, and I gladly accepted it. All was as it should be. That sounds nice and all, but doesn't that just mean he's always the first to make his escape? He's the president, detective. It's basically in his job description to do so. Nothing else he's saying seems too off base. Guy's the victim here. Wouldn't make much sense for him to lie to us, you know? I love how we are switching back and forth between Gumshoe and Kay. Guess we got to assume he's telling the... No, one of the things he said is clearly wrong. Think back to the scene of the crime. Huh? Did we miss something? Alright, let me see that evidence again. Might as well take another look myself. Alright. Evidence. Badge. Steel Samurai balloon. President. Tape. Bullet trajectory. Photographs. Photograph 1. Photograph 2. Photograph 3. Security plan. This... Oh wait, we just have both of them. Gun. Coat. This blood here must belong to the owner of the coat. Seems like we have probably already done this. The right sleeve is inside out, and you can clearly see it where the button was torn off. Yes, whoever discarded this raincoat did so in quite a hurry. This is one red raincoat. Good thing we're not bullfighting, huh? Actually, Kay, I think you'll find that it isn't the color that bulls react to, but the gentle fluttering of the cloth. You know what else flutters gently? Your neck thingy. Better not go near any bulls. You're one to talk, what with your scarf and all. Alright. Suddenly we're gonna from me, and then bang, a plane on a blemished balloon of red exploded nearby. Do they mean like this?
Objection!
Aha! I'm good. You say it was a plain red balloon that burst, but I strongly beg to differ. What? Take a look at this. I think you'd agree that it's hardly plain, wouldn't you? No! What? Or who is that? Mr. President, meet the Steel Samurai. I would have hoped you might recognize him. Especially if you were hoping to ingratiate yourself with the people of this country. Yeah, you need to watch Jammin' Ninja too. He's amazing. So you see, the balloon that was struck by the bullet was anything but plain. It was in fact of the Steel Samurai. But the briefing mentioned 2 plain red balloons. And there they are, right on the security plan. They do look pretty plain, don't they? Just simple round balloons. Okay, apparently those are supposed to be balloons. Sure. I didn't know that those were supposed to be balloons. Knight, what is the meaning of this? Explain yourself. Yes, Mr. President. It seems the Steel Samurai balloon was borrowed at the last minute, sir. Borrowed? That's what we were told. Guess they only reported the incident to us bodyguards, though. Seems there was a little trouble here on site last night. One of the original balloons burst somehow. So they swapped it in as an emergency replacement. Yeah, one of the stall holders happened to have it. From what I hear, he was more than willing to lend it out. A very happy-go-lucky kind of guy, they said. Happy-go-lucky stall holder with a steel samurai balloon to spare, huh? It's Larry somehow! I don't actually know. They filled just the bottom part up with air to make it look like the other ornamental balloon. So, while it was the steel samurai balloon, it was made to look like a plain red one above water. Is that the long and short of it? No, why was I not informed of this? Sorry, sir. We didn't think it was a pressing issue. And indeed, you saw it and knew no different, correct? Yes, I suppose so. Could he really have mistaken the steel samurai's pants for a plain red balloon? Still, Mr. President, I struggle to see how you wouldn't have noticed something different about the balloon. Of course. What's that outburst for? Now I remember. I could barely see the balloon. You couldn't see it? That's right, the wind was blowing too hard. What? The flags to the sides of the stage were flapping incessantly and blocking my view. Is that so? Yes, those two flags. They were being blown back towards me. There would have been a strong wind blowing right around the time of the incident. Strong enough to blow the flags in just such a fashion. But does that conflict in any way with our understanding of the case? Wait. Aha! Nailed it. Yes, it does. Thank you, Mr. President. Your testimony has revealed yet another contradiction. It has? Yes, a contradiction that could turn this entire case on its head. When I arrived on scene, the wind had died down and the flags were resting calmly for the most part. But if the wind had previously been blowing the flags as the President describes, a certain piece of evidence suddenly takes on a very different meaning. Which piece of evidence contradicts the stated conditions of the stage at the time of the incident? It's this, because it's literally just the stage. What the heck? Earlier, we deduced that the bullet that struck the steel samurai balloon and the bullet that passed through the flag were one and the same. From these two things, we further deduced the trajectory the bullet must have taken. Aha. And we concluded that our shooter must have fired from the left side of the spectator area. But if the flags are blowing as the President describes, our conclusion becomes quite different. No way! If the flags are pointed in the other direction... Exactly. Our trajectory changes completely. And if we trace that trajectory back to its source, we can ascertain who really fired that shot. Wait, but Mr. Edgeworth, that would mean... Yes, I know, we may not yet understand the reason why, but it can only have been one person who did it. Who does the bullet's new trajectory implicate as the one that fired the shot? Aw shit, we yelling at the President.
Take that!
Following the path of the bullet back to its point of origin leads us to this person here. Intriguing. So the weapon in question was not a gun, but a boomerang. Oh. You're wrong! Heck us, we were wrong.
Take that!
The person who fired that shot was none other than you, Mr. Knight. I, paid attention. But what? The path from the balloon back through the flag leads directly to the spot where you were standing. But the guy's one of the president's bodyguards. Why the heck would he go around shooting balloons? This is absurd. What exactly are you trying to imply? Mr. Knight, a man who has saved my life countless times, is my would-be assassin? Seriously, Edgeworth, we've put up with a lot from you, but this... We're President Wang's bodyguard. We're the pieces put on the board to protect the king. I'll handle this, Knight. Sorry, sir. Mr. Edgeworth, the wind was indeed blowing quite fiercely around the time of my speech. But the wind can pick up and die away in an instant, can it not? Therefore, I need proof. Proof that it was blowing hard enough to lift the flags during that crucial moment. The first shot was fired right around the time the president raised his fist. I have a piece of evidence that shows just that. Perhaps it can also show us what was happening with the flag then too. This is, I think, all I have. I don't think I got anything else. I mean, it's one of these two.
Take that!
Your proof is in this picture right here. This should be good. Which picture? Where? We can see which way the flag was really blowing right here. I like how this wasn't even the picture I was considering.
Take that!
Well, do you deny that it clearly shows the flag? There we have it. Proof that it was blowing towards you at the moment of the shooting. So that means our pal over there did shoot the balloon. Making him the assassin? Mr. Knight is not the assassin? Mr. Knight is not the assassin. He may have shot the balloon, but the president was on the other side of him entirely. Therefore, he can't have been aiming at his boss. Yeah, besides, why would he even shoot the balloon? What would be the point? And watch how you answer, or I might aim for something else next. Dude, put that gun away. There was a point. I'm sure of it. If I can figure out what it was, perhaps I can finally put this whole conundrum to rest. I definitely shot the balloon. That fact alone changes everything about the case. Why did Knight's assigned position change? But is that the only reason? Let us suppose that the plan hadn't changed, that Knight had remained posted on the left. Given that he was unable to turn his head to the right, would he even have been able to shoot the balloon closest to him? Could it be that the security plan was changed for the express purpose of popping one of the balloons? And if we suppose that to be the case, the two plans are different. Was the security detail reorganized at some point? Yeah, we made some last... presidents or... yeah, whatever. That's right. The president was the one who ordered the change. Nope, we only have two options. If I'm reading things right, the president knew in advance about the balloon shooting, which means he must have foreknowledge he would be in someone's crosshairs today as well. And if that's true, then everything else that's been bothering me falls neatly into place. How did the shooter get a gun past such heavy security? And why would they then carry out the shooting wearing such a conspicuous item of clothing? Why use a laser sight that would give away their location in an instant? And how did the president suffer no injuries at all despite a direct hit to the vest? These are the questions that Knight and the president don't want us to consider. There is only one possible reason for Mr. Knight to have fired his gun. To create the illusion of an assassination attempt. What? Huh? Idiot. You do understand what you're saying. Oh, I understand all too well. I understand everything now. Most of all, I understand why you were so keen to take this investigation off my hands, Mr. President. You wanted your real plans to remain hidden. How dare you speak to me that way? Is this some sort of sick joke? Oh, it's no joke, I assure you. It's simply the truth, as revealed by the careful application of logic and reasoning, nothing more. The first shot was fired by Mr. Knight with the specific intention of hitting that balloon. The sound of gunfire and the bursting of the balloon were guaranteed to cause a panic. And then he fired again. He did? Yes, he fired 2 bullets, both of which were aimed at the balloon. As for why he did so, it's because the second shot was designed to create the impression that the president had been hit. So then, what's the deal with the one in the vest? I'm willing to bet that that bullet was planted there long before the shooting ever occurred. Ugh. Heh. So Mr. Heroic President didn't take a bullet after all. That's not true. I was shot, I tell you. We'll be able to verify that for ourselves once we take a closer look at the bullets. At the very least, we can expect to find traces of Mr. Rook's blood on it, correct? Ugh. But you said it yourself. You found the shooter in a photograph. That person with the red hood.
Objection!
Thought I made myself clear. The trajectory points to only one possible shooter, Mr. Knight. Then where does Tabby fit into all this? She is simply one part of their plan. In order to place the suspicion elsewhere, they set about creating a fake assassin. The highly suspicious person with the red hood. I have yet to ascertain exactly how complicit Miss Lloyd was in the whole scheme, but I can say with some confidence that none of the shots were fired by her. I suspect her only job was to point a laser sight at the president. That's right. Then I was tasked with turning your jacket inside out the moment the crowd flew into a panic. Yes. Thus making the mysterious red-hooded shooter disappear in the blink of an eye. Then, when the gun and the security plan were later found in the trash can, it would have all appeared to have been the work of an assassin so skilled they could vanish into thin air. But then the case would have gone cold. Exactly what our friends here were hoping for. Makes sense now why they wanted you off the case. Indeed, because the entire affair was a cheap ruse perpetrated by the president himself. Dun dun dun. Calm down there, my dude. Ah! Oh no, his apex. Oh. Unfortunate. Dude is melting, apparently. Aye, arg. The President Mask has well and truly slipped. Admit it, the entire assassination was a lie, wasn't it? That stupid chief prosecutor hadn't insisted on assigning you. How could I let this happen?
Objection!
Well, that was a pretty sweet objection. That's enough, Mr. Edgeworth. I've got a gun. Mr. Knight. Sorry, but I'm speaking with the President right now. Yeah, well, I'm doing my job as a knight and protecting my king. So go ahead, keep running your mouth. Perhaps it would be better if we stuck to threatening each other with words? He wouldn't, would he? Nah, I don't need this thing to shut you up. Alright, my move. Question. You claim I fired my gun from on stage. How do you figure I did that in front of a crowd of thousands? An excellent point. Time for my counter move, I suppose. You had a certain something that allowed you to conceal your actions. That certain something, huh? Mighty specific. What did Knight use to hide his actions from the crowd? It would have been the case, because you have it on the picture, like it's that. So this, my case. Yes, take a look at case photograph. Your right hand is completely obscured by the case. At the very moment this picture was taken, you were firing your gun. And in such a way that you wouldn't be detected.
Objection!
You don't like to let the facts get in the way of a good theory, do you, Edgeworth? Shame you don't seem to have noticed. Noticed what? That theories are all you have. Conjectures, nothing more. The flag was billowing in the wind at precisely the right moment. I hid my gun with the case. We changed the security plan because I couldn't turn my head. It's all just speculation. Circumstantial evidence at best. You can't prove any of it. Ugh. If you at least had the bullet that burst the balloon, you might have a scrap of credibility. Imagine, you could have run forensics to see if it matched my gun. But no, that bullet is at the bottom of the lake. You're gonna go dredge it up? I hate to say it, but he's right. I don't have anything concrete. I thought not. Maybe now you can shut your mouth. Miss Lloyd? Of course, she could shed some light on this whole situation. I just need to get her to talk. What's the matter? Something you want to say, Miss Journalist? Nah, never mind. That's what I thought. Miss Lloyd! I need you to be brave. If you don't speak up, the truth will be lost forever. You are a journalist after all, are you not? Dang it. Can't stay quiet any longer. Hey, you understand what you're doing, right? I'd think carefully before opening that mouth of yours. I was so focused on bagging me a scoop, I forgot the most important thing of all. Real journalists don't lie. And ain't no danged scoop if it ain't the truth. I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. I should have showed you this before. What is it? It's the laser pointer I used on the President. But that's all I'd done. I never shot nobody. You stupid. I thought I told you, you squeal and you go down as an accomplice. It was him. He told me to do it. I was at Zhang Fa's embassy, sniffing out a story like I told you. This was 3 days back. He comes up to me out of the blue, just starts talking. Help me out and I'll get you exclusive access to the President. that kind of stuff. What about the gun in the trash can? That I don't know nothing about, I swear it. All he told me was to wear a jacket with a red hood and to point that there pointer at the president. Never thought for a minute it'd blow up in my face so bad. I'm sorry. Truly, I am. Thank you, Miss Lloyd. I'd like you to testify to that effect when this goes to trial. It ought to go a long way towards proving that the assassination was a sham. What's wrong with you people? Don't any of you know what's good for you? My sympathies, Mr. Knight. Had you successfully removed me from this case as you'd intended, perhaps then you could have kept your pawn quiet, Did you just shoot the gun? So let me get this straight. You told Tabby, if you let slip about our fake assassination plot, we'll have you convicted for murder. Or something like that? Of all the dirty... I said no such thing. Ah! The president. Give it up, Knight. It's time we came clean. It's our only choice. So, Mr. President, you admit it. You admit that there was a plot to fake an assassination attempt. I do. I'm sorry. But why? Why do something like that? My popularity has been on the wane back home. I thought surviving an attempt on my life might give me the boost I needed. I know what we did was wrong, so yes, it was all lies. All of it. And the bullet in the vest? It was planned ahead of time. I wasn't hit by anything today. But then, what was up with the killer? Our plan got out somehow, and he just appeared, hell-bent on turning our fake assassination into a real one. Hence the red raincoat, I suppose. He'd hope to get in close enough as the fake assassin to finish the job. There is one thing I don't understand, though. Oh? What would that be? Why did Rook have to die? The whole thing was fake. How did he wind up getting killed for real? That's true, and therein lies the real question. He was a fine bodyguard, the best in fact. He may not have been a native of Zhangfa, but he was someone I could fully trust. Mr. Rook must have been really something to gain the trust of someone who'd hide from his own shadow. Sounds like he was as trustworthy to the President as I am to you, huh, sir? I believe that's for me to say, Detective, not you. Mr. Rook must have known about the plan too, then, correct? He wasn't aware of any specific details, so not really. I tried to involve him, but he refused. And you would have done well to listen to him. This is a tragedy. The life of a good man has been wasted. What was so great about him anyways? Okay, dude. It's gotten into him. He was just another piece on the board, there to protect you. Nothing more. Mr. Knight, how could you? Who was it that actually went along with your plan, huh, Mr. President? Well, that pious coward backed down when you needed him to step up the most. I value your support too, of course, but... Look, I am your chief bodyguard now. That's all that matters. And now that spineless fool Rook is gone, things are going to change around here. Alright, dude. Thanks to me, genius strategist, grandmaster, rightful leader of this team. We are all well aware of your ambitions, Knight, but doesn't this seem a little imprudent to you? Why? My plan this time was perfect, as they always are, and as they always will be. It's quite a statement, especially considering that your perfect plan was an abject failure. Yeah, no thanks to you and that buffoon Rook. And how exactly was it Mr. Rook's fault? If he hadn't died, the killer would have never come after me. and I wouldn't have had to let you on this plane. Please, Mr. Knight, you mustn't talk like that. Fine, the guy died protecting you, Mr. President. I'm sure that was just what he always wanted. But did he die protecting the President? We've already established that this is a fake assassination attempt. The end. Wait, I thought the whole assassination thing was fake. Aw, come on, do I have to say everything twice? We planned a fake assassination, but somebody else came along and tried to make it real. 2 shots were fired, remember? Like you said, Edgeworth, one of them was the bullet I shot through that balloon. But the second? That wasn't me. Oh, really? Then who did fire it? The real assassin, but not the killer. His plan was to come after the President with a knife. No, the most likely suspect here is the piece cowering quietly in the corner. Our lily-white queen over there. What? Ah, bear trap went off. Miss Lloyd? Again with this? I'm not your danged assassin. But is that really true? I, for one, don't believe it. The gun in the trash can. It can only belong to you. As soon as I shot that balloon, I rushed over to help Rook escort the President back onto the plane. I left Rook here in this room while I secured the President in the safe room. When I came back out, Rook was lying here on the ground. Miss Journalist must have shot Rook while we were escorting the President off stage. That single killer shot was fired by the gun you found in the trash can. So you don't actually know when the victim was struck by the bullet, do you? The knight doesn't protect the rook, Edgeworth. He protects the king. You want to translate? He means that his only concern was protecting the President. Lose the king and you lose the game. Isn't that the first rule of chess? But a win in which a key piece is sacrificed is a hollow victory indeed. Doesn't matter. It's still a victory. I kept the President safe. I win! Well, it's a bit early to be calling our little match in any case, for this is where our battle really begins.
Hold it!
The victim really didn't take part in your little plan then, did he? Nope, and we kept him in the dark on the details. So he really thought the President was in danger. But wait, he must have noticed that the shot came from right next to him. Maybe he did. Guess we'll never know. And even if he did know it was a sham, he still had a job to do. He still had to protect his king. And he was able to make a judgment like that in a split second? Impressive. He really was as capable as they say. Not so capable that I couldn't read him like a book. I made it so he had no choice but to go along with our little performance.
Hold it!
Why do that? You and the President both knew the whole thing wasn't real. But it had to seem real. There were people everywhere. It's not a good look, right? Imagine if someone had spotted a man who'd just been shot at. Hanging out in his plane, sipping grape juice like he didn't have a care in the world. And what was the victim doing during all this? Who knows? I was in the safe room, like I said. Anyway.
Hold it!
Where on the ground exactly? Where he is now, in the middle of the floor. The door to the outside was shut though. Guess the bullet must have hit him right before he closed it. And thanks to his little blunder, my whole plan fell apart. Mr. Knight, you mustn't talk that way. He may have kept you safe, Mr. President, but he isn't here now to save your good name. I'd call that dereliction of duty. What would you call it? An honorable try, which is more than what you'd give, I'd say. Damn. Sorry, but that's just how it is.
Hold it!
Weren't you and Mr. Rook both carrying bulletproof attach cases? Yeah, opened them right after Rook spotted the laser sight. We moved into covering positions and used them to shield the president. So the bullet that hit Mr. Rook traveled through a gap in that defensive shield. Do you really believe Miss Lloyd to be that skilled a marksperson? Heh, no. She was aiming for the president. That makes her a lousy shot. So it was pure coincidence that Mr. Rook was hit. And the bullet simply happened to find its way past your cases and through the gap in his vest. Seems crazy to me too, but the facts are the facts. It was a shot in a million, but the shooter hit the bullseye, and the proof is in your hands.
Hold it!
So the second shot had nothing to do with you. Right. That one was fired by your little friend. Imagine the scoop she'd have bagged if it had hit its mark. That was difficult. I'm a journalist, you hear? I don't make facts, I report them. Yeah, a journalist who signed up to a fake assassination plan in the hopes of getting a story. That's not... Look, I'll admit it, I set the whole thing up, and your role was to aim that laser pointer at the president. It's not my fault that wasn't enough for you. You were the one who decided to bring a gun to the party. Who knows, maybe you thought if you kept on shooting, you could shut me up too. So Mr. Knight's suggesting that he fired one shot and then Miss Lloyd fired one more. Yeah, basically implying that Tabby also had a gun on her. Beats me where she could have got one from, but hey. His entire testimony is pure conjecture. He can't prove any of it. You're right, let's hit him with some cold, hard, undeniable evidence. Okay. Ground. Off stage. What did you find in the trash? Okay, what do we got? Badge? No. Balloon? No. Newspaper clipping? No. Miss Lloyd's tape? I don't think that's where we're headed for. Bullet trajectory? No. Photographs? I don't think there's gonna be anything there. Security plan? I don't think so. So it's the same model as the victim. Oh, single killer shot, 2 spent bullet. Haha! We have discovered.
Objection!
Nailed it. So you contend that it was you who shot the balloon and Miss Lloyd who shot Mr. Rook. You sure about that? Sure, I'm sure. Well, what you propose would indeed match up with the total number of shots heard. The gun from the trash can itself has also been fired twice. That is a face to make. Now, why would the supposed number of shots heard from this gun differ from the number of spent rounds? It's simple, because it was planted by the real perpetrator of the crime. Somebody faked the evidence? Yes, and if you think about it, their reason for doing so is obvious. To ensure that whoever found the gun would conclude that the shooter had been in the spectator area. And in order to do that, they had to make it seem as if both shots had come from this one weapon. I get it, so that's why it's got 2 spent rounds, huh? Precisely. As we have already proven, the bullet that burst the balloon came from a different weapon, which makes it entirely possible that the bullet which killed Mr. Rook didn't come from this gun either. Okay, nice work, Edgeworth. That's some high-grade sleuthing. But why don't you get to the point? You've come this far. Spit it out. Oh, I intend to. Don't worry. The person who really shot Mr. Rook was you.
Take that!
You, Mr. Knight. You're the one who murdered Mr. Rook. Oh, finally got up the courage to say it, huh? Surely not. Surely you wouldn't have. It wasn't only the killer who tried to take advantage of this fake murder plot. You killed Mr. Rook, hoping that he would look like an accidental victim of the bungled assassination. With the president locked away in the safe room and the door of the airplane tightly closed, it was just you and Mr. Rook, alone, together. And that was when the third bullet was fired, right into your colleague's body.
Objection!
Wait, you're really gonna claim there's a third one now? You just said only 2 gunshots were heard. Want to tell me how that works?
Objection!
Airplane cabins are practically soundproof, Mr. Knight. If you close the door, nothing can be heard from the outside, not even gunfire. But wasn't the president right next door? Very true, which means he may have heard the shot himself. Well, Mr. President? I didn't hear anything. But you can observe this room through your security feed, can you not? The camera in this room isn't normally on. I have to manually switch it on when I enter the safe room. And that's what you did this time too, right? Well, that is... What's gotten into him? Mr. President, this is vitally important. Please, President. Fine, I was busy hiding under the bed, covering my ears. What? Even though you knew the whole thing wasn't real? Yes, because I hate the sound of guns. Okay, dude. We're just pathetic. Just the slightest hint of that awful noise and oh, it's just too much. Yeah, same, Kay. Same. Silly gumshoe. Oof. That there's sadder than a pot of overcooked crawfish. Ahem. Mr. Knight, you saw that the president was cowering beneath the bed. And what's more, you knew from the monitor bank that the security camera for this room hadn't been switched on. Which means you knew that the circumstances were perfect for you to fire the third shot straight at Mr. Rook. Knight, how could you? Could you really have betrayed my trust so horribly? You think I killed the old half-wit? You don't trust me much, huh? This is the thanks I get for putting my life on the line for you day after day. I want to believe you, but I don't get it. I just don't get it. What is there to doubt here? What, you don't believe that the girl over there could have done it? No, because this gun isn't the murder weapon. We know this from the number of bullets fired. Yeah? Well, how do you know there wasn't a spent bullet from the start? What? Someone could have fired a bullet from that gun yesterday, or the day before. And today, another bullet. The bullet that hit Rook. That's pure speculation, pal, and you know it. Maybe, but can you prove it's not true? Not with any certainty, no. You're nothing without conclusive proof, so come on. A single piece of evidence, straight through my heart. I dare you. Well, what are you waiting for? Ugh. There must be something, mustn't there, Mr. Edgeworth? If we can't prove it, Tabby's... Please, Ruffles. I messed up. I know I did. I should have never done what I did. Not even for a scoop. But murder? Nah, that ain't me. Ain't a murderous bone in my body. Conclusive proof. If only I could prove that Knight's gun is the murder weapon. Wait, perhaps I can. We had the bullet that killed Mr. Rook. Forensics could tell us which gun it was fired from. No proof, no case. End of conversation.
Objection!
Hold it right there. What now? You're not about to claim you do have proof. Of course I do. This ought to be good. Alright, bring it on. Show me this proof of yours. The bullet that killed Mr. Rook is the key to ending our little game. Very well, my conclusive evidence is... Okay, well, we just decided that, like, we're going after the bullet that's apparently in the lake, so it's clearly not in our possession yet. Not currently in my possession. Alright then, thanks for playing, folks, but that's game over. However, it is here in this room. That gun does actually fire whenever he does that. What? As we know, the bullet that killed Mr. Rook passed through his body. But where did it end its journey? Perhaps we should cast our minds back to an earlier conversation. But now, of course, we know that the so-called assassination attempt was a complete fabrication. The vest was prepared in advance, made to look as if it had been hit by a bullet. Which begs the question, where's the real bullet? I like it. A twist. This is good stuff, Edgeworth. Come on then, don't keep us in suspense. Does any of the evidence point to where the bullet that killed Mr. Rook might have ended up? Yeah, definitely. Okay, so what's the play? Badge. Badge is always the play. We're talking about, like, the killing happened inside of the plane. So it's got to be in the plane somewhere. So, like, let's essentially get rid of all this. Nope. So we have one monitor missing here. Let's see what this does. There's something very clearly missing from this room. Nailed it. Yes, a prosecutor with some common sense. Got him! Take a look at the bank of security monitors. Oh. I see you've caught on, Mr. President. Splendid. There are screens here showing views from all around the airplane, inside and out. The only external angle not covered is the right side of the aircraft, and that's because one of the monitors is missing. Ugh. There was a monitor in that space previously, wasn't there, Mr. President? There was. I have no idea what my plushie is doing there now, though. It appears to be someone's vain attempt to hide what is obviously lacking. But where did it go? And why? The why is easy enough to answer, because it was struck by a bullet. For if we are to believe that the bullet in the vest was the real deal, why are we kick-Wing? Then anything that hinted at the existence of another bullet had to be removed. And so where did the missing monitor go? Where indeed? I believe that it must be hidden somewhere on this plane. After all, there wouldn't have been time to dispose of it outside of the aircraft. Detective Gumshoe, conduct a search if you would. We have found this? Right away, sir. Mr. President, extraterritoriality, remember? I have no objection to the search. Please, go ahead. If it will help us discover the truth behind what happened to Rook, I will not stand in your way. What are you... I don't believe this. Rook this, Rook that. Did you ever think about anybody else? The search has been authorized, Detective, if you wouldn't mind. Sir, I found the monitor. Excellent work. Now go ahead and extract the bullet. Let's see if I put my hand in here and just... Come on, come on, come on. Got it. That doesn't seem like the way you should go get a bullet, but I digress. Well, would you look at that? Blood. This is the bullet that killed Mr. Rook, there's no doubt about it. And there you have it, Mr. Knight. The single piece of evidence you requested, straight through your heart. Even you must now admit, if this bullet didn't come from the spectator area gun, then Miss Lloyd cannot be Mr. Rook's killer. What, no pithy comeback? Detective, have forensics analyze the bullet for sure, and compare them to the gun we found. Yes, sir. We'll get the evidence you need. You can count on it. So many people in here. Alright, let's hear what forensics has to say. Our findings are as follows, sir. Firstly, the blood on the bullet is indeed that of the victim, proving that it was the bullet that killed Mr. Rook. Secondly, we found Mr. Knight's fingerprints on the gun. Which gun? Probably from when I handed all the evidence over to him. Now for the key part, the striations. If they're not a match, then Miss Lloyd is in the clear. Lastly, the striations on the bullet are a match with this weapon. What? How could that be? No way. Oh, come on. There's no doubt about it, sir. This is the gun that fired the bullet. How? Hehehe. Well, isn't that something? Conclusive proof that I was right. What's the matter? You didn't think you had me backed into a corner, did you? Guess you misread the board. Because the only one backed into a corner here is you. There's no denying it. Forensics proved that the gun and the bullet are a match. The bullet that killed Rook was fired from the gun you found in the spectator area. So who pulled the trigger? Can't have been me. I was up on stage, which leaves your little friend. The hack killed Rook. She's the murderer, and you just proved it. Your move, Edgeworth. But just remember two things. One, where you found that gun. And two, which gun the fatal bullet came from. Whichever way you look at it, I can't have been the shooter. How did it come to this? Me and the President, we admitted to faking the assassination attempt. Now it's your turn to admit something. Who the killer really is. There's no way Tabby did it, is there? Don't let him get to you, Kay. We just need to go over his statements again. There must be something further we can deduce from them. Okay, let's do this, Mr. Edgeworth.
Hold it!
No, that's...
Objection!
Oh, okay. What was it you said? That forensics would back you up? Ugh. How does it feel to be shot in the chest by your own conclusive proof, huh? Not so good, I imagine. The bullet and the gun are a match, Mr. Edgeworth. That kinda has to mean that Tabby pulled the trigger, no? Even so, I simply cannot accept that. But sir, there's no denying the evidence. There isn't, so what am I missing? If I assume Miss Lloyd to be innocent, then the gun and the bullet shouldn't be a match. Edgeworth, you're a prosecutor. Your job is to assume everyone's guilty. What is it, Kay? I was just thinking, if the evidence points to something that doesn't seem possible, then maybe there's something wrong with it. You're asking me to call the evidence into question? Well, there's no way Tabby did this, right? So if the evidence says that she did, then the problem must lie there. You seem very sure about this. Call it my great thief's intuition. Intuition, huh? Still, she could be right. I simply don't believe Miss Lloyd to be a malicious liar, which means... As someone who believes that evidence is everything in court, the irony is not lost on me, but... If I were to call a piece of evidence into question, it would have to be, the gun? Something untoward is going on here. It would have to involve the weapon, not the bullet. Draw. We only just recovered the bullet a little while ago. Furthermore, we know that Mr. Knight had an opportunity to handle the gun. Back when this dude had a 20-pack. Indeed, he had ample opportunity. Is it just as simple as he swapped the gun? There's no doubt that this gun is the weapon that was used in the crime. Which means it must belong to... It's gotta just belong.
Take that!
The gun belongs to Mr. Knight. He switched them around. It has to be it.
Hold it!
Objection!
No, you hold it. You were the one who proved this. Or are you saying that forensics was wrong? The bullet had the victim's blood on it, which means it must be the one that took his life. It does seem to have been fired from the gun we found in the trash can. Don't you just love this? Your face, Edgeworth. What a picture. Ugh, a man in dire straits, yes. Well spotted, you. Let's just agree that the facts are what they are and move on. The gun fired the fatal bullet.
Hold it!
Yes, who indeed. Still can't bring yourself to admit the truth, huh? I get it. I was in your shoes just a few minutes ago. Burned me up on the inside, you know? Made me really want to shoot someone. Please point the gun away. Sorry, it's no laughing matter, I know. But we both know who really did shoot someone, don't we?
Hold it!
What proof is there that Miss Lloyd fired that gun? What proof? How about the forensics you ordered? They didn't find our prints though, did they? Yeah, the only prints they found were yours, pal.
Objection!
From when I confiscated the evidence, probably. Anyway, say it wasn't Miss Journalist. Who was it? Because it can't have been me. Your own investigation put the shooter in the spectator area, didn't it? Ugh. Are you ready to admit it yet? All the evidence points in one direction.
Hold it!
That's not what I proved at all. Oh yeah? So what did you prove? Still trying to make this about how I fired the first shot? Sure, you proved that, and I admitted it. But so what? You're forgetting that you're here to do one thing and one thing only. You got that right, to uncover the truth. And you think ruining your country's relationship with Zhang Fa is going to do that? No. Your job is to solve an attempted assassination, nothing else. I'll decide what my job is, thank you very much. You don't get to tell me what to do. Oh sure, let the trail go cold while you flip your wig over who gets to say what to who. Or you could finally do the right thing and admit that your little friend is guilty. Never. You're the guilty one here. There's no doubt about it. The markings on the bullet are consistent with those left by the weapon from the trash can. But if Mr. Knight were to have tampered with the gun somehow, he could have only done it once he handed it over. Once I'd handed over the evidence, not a moment before. Isn't there anything we can do, Mr. Edgeworth? There must be something. Our reasoning thus far has been sound. I'm sure of it. Which means we can overcome his defenses this time as well. Really? Even with the forensics results on his side? If a testimony is untruthful, there is always a contradiction to be found. Let's listen to what he has to say for himself one more time. Okay, so I think we just present the gun now that we kind of did that whatever. Yeah.
Objection!
Like that, yeah, we admit it. You switched the guns, didn't you, Mr. Knight? That's why the markings match the weapon in question. It was yours all along. Heh. An intriguing move there, Edgeworth. And he must have made the switch when I handed over the evidence. Why didn't he just say no? while I was busy trying to make the case for remaining on the investigation. You took the laser sight from the gun we found in the trash can and put it on your own. Then, not long afterwards, you handed that gun back to me instead of the one we found. Hehehe, I did, huh? You think I somehow knew you'd find, let alone run forensics on that bullet sometime in the future? Is that so strange? You're a chess player after all. A man well used to thinking several moves ahead. I'm flattered, but much as it pains me to admit it, you're overestimating my abilities. Besides, do you even have any proof that I made the switch? Oh, and we're back. This dude not instantly denying it is hilarious. The gun is the same model as mine. Weird, sure, but it's just a coincidence. And look, there's a laser sight attached. Also, take a look in the cylinder. 2 spent bullets, just what we'd expect to see. So what proof do you have that I switched the original gun out for mine, huh? None. That's what. You say I'm overestimating your abilities. You surprise me. What can I say? I'm a modest guy. More modest than you, that's for sure. Everywhere except at the chessboard, that is. Well, I don't see a chessboard here, do you? Shame. Still, guess that gives you a nice excuse. I didn't mess up, I just didn't have the right evidence. I don't think I'll be the one making excuses. Rather, I didn't mess up, they just got lucky with the evidence, will be your excuse, I'd imagine.
Hold it!
A coincidence, you say? Or was it a necessity? It can't be both, pal! Sure it can. We bodyguards need to protect the president. And the girl needed to use a gun, but she probably doesn't know a whole lot about them. It's not so far-fetched for her to pick something she's heard of that we also happen to use. Okay, but why a revolver? Why is that your go-to gun? It's probably something to do with its ease of use. No spent casings to chase down, for example. Exactly. The perfect tool for a job where you can't afford to fail, or don't know what you're doing. Still, coincidence, necessity, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference either way.
Hold it!
And because you swapped it on there. Put up or shut up, Edgeworth. Where's your evidence? Well, that is... Don't go making accusations you can't back up. Or did your daddy never teach you that? Damn. As it stands, the facts are in my favor here.
Hold it!
I've been meaning to ask, actually. What about your own weapon? How many spent bullets are in its cylinder? This old girl here? This old girl here? Well now. I let loose a few rounds earlier, as you saw. He reloads his gun every time he fires it. But even if I were to tell you how many there were at the time, you'd have no way of verifying that. Of course, in order to swap the guns properly, he'd have to maintain the right number of bullets per gun. You didn't have the chance to put on any gloves, though, which means... Alright, I think it's about time you did the right thing and resigned, don't you? Game's all but done, see?
Hold it!
Objection!
Oh, I didn't even see what he said. The proof is... okay, an objection. Something you clearly don't have. If you did, you'd have made your move by now. We do so have proof, right, Mr. Edgeworth? You won't be given the chance to investigate any further. I'll have to work with what we've gathered. Think, Miles, think. Consider all the possibilities. Hehehe. If you've got the goods, it's now or never. How are we supposed to prove he switched the guns? Unfortunately, we don't have any direct evidence of his wrongdoing. But that in itself is proof of a kind. Because otherwise, the shouldn't line up like they do, right, sir? Right. We must carefully consider and infer what we can from evidence he brings up in his testimony. The truth is in there somewhere. Okay. Weird. Side.
Objection!
I don't know why. I haven't figured that out yet. I have your proof. Right here. That's your proof? I think you've been working too hard, Edgeworth. Not the gun itself, the evidence it carries. Evidence I will prove, once and for all, that it does in fact belong to you. I'm looking forward to this. Go ahead, make your move. What's about to come into play? The rook? The bishop? Not a pawn, surely. The evidence the gun will provide for takes the form of fingerprints. Fingerprints. Namely, your fingerprints, Mr. Knight.
Objection!
My prints? Ha! Of course my prints are on the gun. You handed it right to me when you gave up the evidence. How could they not be on there?
Objection!
What if I told you there are prints on a part of the gun that you shouldn't have touched at any point? What? Where? You can't prove that. Oh, but I can. There's a place where your fingerprints could never have been left if the things happened as you say. Allow me to present the final piece of evidence that will bring our game to its rightful conclusion. I don't know. The laser sight can be lined up with the target to make aiming a bit easier. Yes, well that is certainly true. It also increases the risk of your target realizing that they are in your sights. But I bet you wouldn't realize it if it were you, Mr. Edgeworth. Why? Because I'm wearing red, you mean? Yeah, exactly. How did you guess? This part is called the grip. I've held a few guns in my time, though they've never felt quite right in my hand. This one is no exception. Hey, look closely at the cylinder, Detective. 2 bullets fired, but where are the prints we're looking for, sir? Oh, are they going to be here? You did indeed switch the guns when I handed you the evidence. But if that were all you had done, your deception would have been easily detected, because the number of bullets fired by each gun was different. There were 2 spent bullets in the gun we found. Yeah, what about Mr. Knight's gun? We know that he fired 2 bullets from the stage into the balloon. And he fired another bullet into Mr. Rook, ending his life. So 3 bullets in total, plus the few odd ones he let loose in shock during our little game. And after each shot, he reloaded his gun out of habit. With his bare hands, of course. Ugh. Officer, where exactly were Mr. Knight's fingerprints found? The ones you mentioned in your report. Sir, they were found on the exterior of the weapon, but also on the bullets themselves. I'm not sure they could have gotten there just from me handing you the evidence, Mr. Knight. And there we have it. Proof that you did indeed switch the guns. This gun, the one which fired the bullet that killed Mr. Rook, is yours. And in taking his life, you are the true assassin. Checkmate. hell did all that come from? I was going to be the new chief of security. That blasted Rook, if it hadn't have been for him, would have been in charge by now. I would have been in control of the whole team. My plan was perfect. The fake assassination was supposed to be flawless. You knew you should have locked the overhead storage? I mean, that's fair. That seems to be where it would have fallen out. Detective Gumshoe. Right away, sir. Curse you, Edgeworth. Our game isn't over yet. I'm afraid this is as far as we go for today. The next moves we play will be in the courtroom. But it's not fair. It's not fair. Up, suddenly he's jacked again. Mr. Edgeworth, I owe you a debt of gratitude. You expose a murderer within the ranks of my own personal guard. I will not soon forget that. He's suddenly very presidential again, now that we're back outside the plane. I saw it, you know, when I first proposed the fake assassination to him. You want me to handle it, not Rook? Rook refused, but I can rely on you, can't I? Of course, sir. You can count on me. I'll put together a plan that can't possibly fail. And he'll play his part like the pawn he is. The hatred in his eyes was plain to see. He despised poor Rook. I was not entirely comfortable about moving forward with Knight in charge of our little deception. And looking back, I think he sensed my discomfort. I can't help thinking I played a part in his decision to end Rook's life. Mr. President, none of this would have happened if you hadn't plotted to fake an attempt on your life. That was your crime, and it is a crime you will have to live with. You're right. I can only apologize for the part I played, and I will no doubt be made to pay for my actions in one way or another. But I thank you nonetheless. You solved the riddle of Rook's demise, and for that I shall be eternally grateful. I will be here in your country for a little while longer yet. But when I return home, perhaps you will visit us in Zhangfa. You will always be welcome. The fuck was that noise? Like, what? Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all don't know how grateful I am. All's well that ends well. Miss Lloyd, the accusation of murder made against you was of course entirely groundless, but the fact remains that you were a willing participant in the staged assassination attempt. The police will no doubt wish to speak with you about the matter. You should be aware that you may well be punished for your actions. I know, and I'm awful sorry about everything. Truly I am. I understand your desire for a scoop, but there are limits. There sure are. I got me some serious thinking to do. You did it, Mr. Edgeworth. That was something else. Local prosecutor solves assassination conundrum. Earns eternal gratitude of president. How's that for a headline? Hey, that there's my department. Mr. Prosecutor, how does it feel to solve such an important case? You must be over the moon. She certainly doesn't stay down for long. No comment. Dang, one tight-lipped son of a gun. As well I should be. This case is not over yet. It isn't? How come, sir? Because until we unravel the story behind this, the case will never be completely over. Why was the killer here?
Take that!
The killer's calling card. Mr. the Killer has yet to complete his assignment. You mean he might still try to murder the president? It sounded like he just got murdered like 5 minutes ago. I hope I'm wrong, but if I'm not, this could all blow up into something more sinister yet. As one would expect with the attempted assassination of a president, The case was all over the news, and my preparations for Mr. Knight's trial were constantly interrupted by requests from the press. There wasn't a person in the land who didn't know about the case. Everybody was talking about it. But in the midst of the frenzy that followed, nobody noticed that this was only the first move in a game far bigger than any of us could have imagined. The end. Yeah, we did it. Alright, well, we're not starting case 2 tonight because I have work in the morning. So this will be where we call stream tonight. Alright, we got through case 1. I don't know what's next, but hey, we did it. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me. I don't think I'm gonna send a raid off to anybody. Excuse me. Thank you for those who hung out, and yeah, I'm gonna call it. I will be back maybe sometime this weekend to start case 2. I don't know yet. We'll see. But I hope you all have a good rest of your evening, and I will see you all later. Take care and goodbye.